So good evening, everyone. Welcome to the fourth session of the JK talks. So far, it's been a really nice journey and looking forward to this very exciting session. And I would like to take this chance to welcome our esteemed guest, all our audience. And without much ado, I would like to invite our guest speaker, Dr. Sreeveni. Thank you so much, Dr. Sreeveni, to join us here. And before I give it to her, I would like to introduce to her a brief introduction. She is an image specialist and a transformation catalyst, focusing mainly on self-transformations. With nearly 3 decades of experience in the field of education, initially as a physics lecturer and then as a trainer, especially in personal growth and personality development, enabling people to unleash and enhance their true potential to create their first best impressions. Her signature module, Self-Worth as Your First Impression, has made an impact for around 2,500 people to lead a better vision of their lives. So, ma'am, it's an honor and we are all ready to listen to you. The platform is yours.
Thank you so much, Mahima, for this opportunity. When you contacted me for this, I was much more delighted to join you in your company. And I thank you all, JK Lakshmi Cements organizers, the company professionals, and the team behind BE Talks, who is conducting these programs for the encouragement of the team working here. Thank you so much. Yes, it is a mutual learning. Any kind of session, it is a mutual learning. I too would be learning a lot from here. So let us make it a little interactive. So Mahima, if you can guide me, if people would want to go ahead and interact, maybe they can give their virtual thumbs up, or they can unmute and then they can, because I would know whether they are able to get what I am trying to convey to them. It's a very good evening for all of you. It's already 4 o'clock. So let's get to interact with whatever acquired knowledge and skills which I have, which I will be sharing over the next 1 hour. Mahima actually approached me to give a kind of 1 hour talk for her talk show which she initiated, and this is about unleash your potential, how to influence and engage people. So let us make it an interactive one. If in case if you find me too fast or too slow, just let me know, and then there would be kind of few small it's a kind of worksheet, small worksheets which I will be taking you through in between, and I'll guide you through. This is about the power of presence. And power of presence, how it is about to unlock your potential to influence and engage others. A brief detail about me, Mahima has already shared with you, but let me share with you, the journey has not been easy, and I'm yet work in progress, always learning and implementing. I'm in that learning zone. Now this is my 10th grade. When I was in my 10th class, Kendriya Vidyalaya, that was when I was giving a speech. I was more into debates and speaking skills. So at that time I had big dreams. 2 dreams, in fact. One, that I would want to become an IAS, and another, I wanted to become a medical doctor. But both did not happen. Life catches up. That's how. Then later on, I went on to complete my MSc in physics. By default, I continued as a physics lecturer for more than 20 years. There was a small sabbatical for around 3 to 4 years in my life when my children, I have 2 kids, one 24 years working in Genpact, another 21 years daughter, she is working in KPMG. My son is working in Genpact. So when they were in their life choosing path, like when they were into what profession they would want to choose, I thought that was the time when I need to spend with them. And once they chose their path, and when they were into their professional education stream, I rediscovered, reinvented myself and launched myself as a trainer and entrepreneur. And from there on, I continued my journey with different streams, and I enrolled into different courses, upskilled myself, upgraded myself, and started my second career, which is about training and image management. ICBI is the one where I have done image consultancy, and that's where I have started my second career. And why did I take into self-worth? It is because I discovered my own self-worth very late in life. Around 49 years I was by that time, and this was in 2017. Was I not living my life earlier? Yes, I was, but I was very duty bounded and very genuinely interested in pleasing my parents and people around that same age. So it is a very common natural phenomena which happens in Indian households, that I did not want to bring friction into the family despite my choices were differing with my parents' choices. Yes, in order to avoid friction, I was just accepting and continued to go ahead. There was a trigger in my life in 2017 when I was questioning myself. What are you doing, Sreeveni? What is your strength? Why are you limiting yourself to these small audience? That's when I have come out of that cocoon. And this is what you see when I have worked on myself from the past 5 years. And that is the reason right now what I do, I have discovered my purpose of life, which is I help people engage and enhance their true potential and create their best first impressions to become a better version of themselves, so that we narrow down that space. It would not be somebody else losing out on time. And right now I am on par with my kids who are grown up adults, so that I am also learning the digital skills as well as upskilling and upgrading myself. That is the self-worth element which I have taken, which I would like to share with you all, so that how to influence and engage will be very helpful for you. Are we good to go, friends? Yes. Thank you so much. So, essentials of success. If anybody would want to unmute your mic, you can let me know. What are the essentials of success? This next probably 45 minutes to 50 minutes can be an interactive session if you would like to, or maybe I will go ahead, but it will be very monotonous for you if I alone keep on continue to talk. How would you prefer? Yes? Shall I go ahead? Give me a virtual thumbs up or unmute your mic. Yes?
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mahima and everybody here. So, taking you through the process, essentials of success depends on, I'm just giving you another option. Yes, getting a chance. Getting a chance and performing on getting a chance. And how do you get a chance? It again depends on your first impression, which is a reflection of your inner strengths, which is nothing but your self-worth and your visual aura. Your visual aura is about your appearance and the visual communication, which is again through your appearance. And once you get the chance, that is the door opens for you. It's even more tougher for you because you need to sustain there. And performing on getting the chance is based on maintaining your EQ, PQ and AQ. Most of you must be aware of it. EQ is that emotional quotient where you are taking into considerations how to control your emotions. PQ is that political quotient where you are in the organization, you know how to manage those politics. Politics are not bad. Politics means how to play your best foot forward based upon the conditions. You would know how to handle politics. You would know who is in which group, how to go ahead, when to keep quiet, when to speak. All of this comes under your political quotient. And AQ is adversity quotient. Come what may, you are not going to get disturbed or deferred. The whole thing starts with the concept of self. And this is a small myth that self-worth, self-esteem, self-confidence are the same. I am here today to give you that little distinction, that subtle distinction between all the three, so that you will discover yourself if this will be helping you, and then you will try to influence and engage others. Now, where does it all start? And how does it start? The 4 elements of image cycle. Here at least I would like some response. The first one, how we see ourselves, is called the self-image. Now, on whom does this depend? How we see ourselves. On whom does this depend? Does this depend on others or does it depend on ourselves? Self. Thank you so much. Yes, ourselves. Thank you so much. I appreciate. How we dress and groom ourselves. On whom does this depend? On others or ourselves?
Ideally self.
Ourselves, obviously, right?
Yes. Ideally it is self.
Yes.
Generally people don't do it on themselves.
Yes. So they just give free advice to others. But look at yourself. How we think, feel, act and behave also depends on ourselves. All these three quadrants. And now look at the fourth quadrant. How others perceive us, react or respond. This is the only quadrant which depends on others. So from here you could see out of the four quadrants, three quadrants are dependent on us, on you, and only one quadrant depends on others. So who is in control of your image? Who is in control of your self-image? We ourselves. We can work on ourselves on three quadrants. And it's only based on those three quadrants. The one quadrant is in the other opponent's court. And most of the time we end up saying, उसने मुझे ठीक से नहीं समझा. Why is it that people don't understand me? Why am I misinterpreted? All these kinds of questions you ask the air. Not realizing that you could work on yourselves such that things become flawless and seamless for you. Let me take you through that process where you will get to know how never again you will be asking, why don't they understand me properly? Let's go and check our own self-image. I will be doing in the beginning so that based on how you rate your self-image, the next part of the discussion goes on. Now here, this is a kind of small activity which you will be doing at your own space. You can have a paper and pen. I will keep on asking you questions, around 15 questions. You can answer true or false. That's it. Be very genuine to yourself. Be very authentic to yourself. This is not which I framed. This is a test and it is a universal test. It is a psychometric test. The results are based upon how you answer. Be very authentic to yourself. And no, I am not going to ask you your score, but you will become aware of what your self-image score is and how you need to work on yourself. That is the reason I am here today. Okay, friends, taking you through the activity. The first, let's check how positive your self-image, only true or false, either one, that's it. First, it's hard for me to forgive and forget. Just mention T or F, that's it. Second, my glass is always half empty, not full. Next, I am always apologizing for things. Next, a partial failure is as bad as a complete failure. Next, I constantly, sorry, you want me to slow down?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll repeat twice every sentence. Now I am coming from the first. It's hard for me to forgive and forget. True or false? My glass is always half empty, not half full. True or false? I am always apologizing for things. The fourth one is a partial failure is as bad as a complete failure. You mention true or false based on your understanding. The fifth is I constantly criticize myself. And the sixth is I am always telling myself I should be doing this or be doing that. You are using should most of the time. Check yourself. Next, I am not sure if I have done a good job unless someone else points it out. This is what you feel. You cannot acknowledge yourself unless somebody else points it out. Next, if I can't do something well, there's no point in doing it all. This is what you say to yourself. There are some skills which you probably are not able to learn. And then at that juncture, you say, if I can't do something well, there is no point in doing it at all. True or false? Then, I am critical of my mistakes and relive them over and over. There are few of us who keep on going back to those points where they could not accept it, they could not continue to do, they feel there are some mistakes and they relive them over and over, true or false. 10th, I always let down people who take care of me, true or false. Next, I have to always work harder than others for relationships and I'm afraid that the relationships I have may fail. Now, this is the attitude for few people who are just kind of acceptance mode. They cannot accept internally, but externally they do not even voice it out. Just that the relationships may fail. This is the fear, true or false. 12th one, how I feel about myself is the way other people dictate me. So the 12th point is people are not aware of who they are. They are only going by that what others are telling them. They are just flowing. 13th, I feel I have the weight of the whole world on my shoulders. These are the people who feel they are very, very responsible and committed, and they are people who take every responsibility, even if it is assigned to them or not. Then comes the 14th. If I don't do as well as others, it means that I am not as good as them. These are the people who are comparing with others. Few of us, most of the times, we completely forget about ourselves and start comparing. So this is true or false. Then 15th, I bend over backwards to please others. 15th, I bend over backwards to please others. This is what I was doing earlier when I told I was just in the pleasing mode so that I don't create friction in the family. So 15th, I bend over backwards to please others. Now, if you have written true or false, just let it be there in your book, in your paper, wherever you have written. Now, I will tell you, I will debrief you what the score count is. You can have the score with you. If you would like to share, that's fine. Otherwise, also it's fine. Let's go to the score. How you are going to score yourself. Activity on this. Give yourself 1 point for each question you answered which is a true. Be very genuine. Don't get scared. Just be very genuine. Give yourself 1 point for each score. For each question you have answered with a true, only a true. Then let me see. 0 to 4. If you have got 0 to 4 T's, you have a generally positive way of thinking and you should feel good about yourself. Keep it up. It is for those people who got less than 4. If it is between 5 and 8, you may be struggling with some negative emotions. Take time to review your good qualities. If you are between 5 and 18, just check. Maybe you are taking too much on yourself. Maybe you are too hard. Just check. Negative emotions. There are some emotions which you need to overcome. If you are between 9 and more than 9, it's a signal. You can be very critical of yourself. Challenge yourself to change your way of thinking and don't be too harsh upon yourself. I hope this scoring has helped you to check your self-image quotient. It may not be the same for all of you and it might come as a shock to few of you. It might be saying, yes, you are right for some of you. So it is upon you. I am not asking anybody to share. This is for you to check yourself. 0 to 4, good, fantastic. Most of the time we feel, arey, why did I get 0? Arey, why did I get 1? But that is how the score is. Okay, so go ahead, check. If you are between that green zone, it means there are some negative emotions which you are still battling with. Just get them cleared. And if it is more than 9, perhaps you are very rigid in your thinking and you are too harsh on yourself. Just relax. Relax, change your pattern of thinking. How to change? I'll let you know, but change your pattern of thinking and don't be too harsh on yourself. Knowing this quotient of self-image upon yourself, let me take you through the process. Now, discover who you are and unlock your potential. to influence and engage others. This is our agenda today. For this, you need to know who you are. For this, you need to know what is the concept of self for you. That's what I'm taking you through. What is your self-worth? Just know your worth. Just list down, on your own, you could list down the values you carry, the ethics you practice, the principles you follow, the gratitude you express, and which are the qualities of you which deserve attention and worthy of trust. Are you worthy of trust? When you are making a list of these things, that's when you know what is your self-worth. It might appear very normal, very simple for you on the screen. These are very basics. But let me tell you, when you get down to write individually, at least 3 qualities of each, that's when the task becomes tough. And that's when things become clear to you. So I am just taking you through this very fast. This part I will take you through because there is something more important. Taking these principles, I just want to brush up on these. So self-worth. Now, once you know your self-worth, then coming to your, just a second, self-esteem. Now, self-esteem is how you are respecting yourself. What are your talents and strengths? What are your belief in yourself? You need to appreciate and admire yourself, your choices and decisions. And look at this. This is a very common Google picture or a WhatsApp picture. You need to respect yourself. You need to know who you are internally, right? So first and foremost, respect, check your talents and strengths, have the belief, and regularly keep appreciating and admiring. Acknowledge your strengths. The choices which you make, the decisions which you make, stand by themselves. This is more important. Stand by themselves. And what is self-confidence means? Just remove that can't. I can do it. It's your ability to perform, your capabilities and skills, your conviction of feeling secured, the trust and faith which you build. It is a go-getter attitude. This is your self-confidence. Now, self-confidence means it is about some skill which you have, which you are very confident about. If I were to take, suppose, let me say, a person who is very good at driving car, right? Very good at driving car, self-confident about driving a car. But if I ask them to cook, supposing they don't know how to cook, then you can't tell that person, you are not confident about yourself. You don't know this skill. Self-confidence is about that skills which you have, where you feel you're confident in expressing them, in actually showcasing those talents. Now, the artist and all, that is the reason their life, however it might be, however their life tips it away, yet they are so self-confident about their skills because they have the ability to perform. They are confident about their capabilities and skills. They are with conviction and they are so secured about their life and their skills which they have. They build the trust and faith and they are with the go-getter attitude. Artists and other people who are performing, they are so confident about their skills, their own skills, despite they being in a very poor financial condition. Poor financial condition might not reflect about their self-confidence. That is the bottom line which I want to make a clarity there, so that you will get to know what we are going in the next part. Now here, I am going to give you how to develop your inner strengths. Now, looking at this, some facts about your uniqueness and some facts about your own physical presence. Your uniqueness is your inner image, who you believe. Just now we have seen self-worth, self-esteem, self-confidence. This is what you are. List them out, you will know, you will discover who you are. That is your inner image, who you are, inner image, andar se. The facts about your uniqueness. You are so unique. You are so authentic about yourself. There are no two people of the same kind. There is no replica of you. Then your body image. This is about your physical appearance and it is a fact. Now, combination of inner image and body image is what it is called self-image. This self-image is a combination and it can be positive and negative, and it is your internal voice. What are you telling yourself? This is your self-image. Now coming from here, it can go to your self-esteem. Your self-esteem could be positive or negative, and it is how you respect yourself. Just now we have seen. And from self-esteem, it is about you and discovering your own self-worth. It is a to and fro process. Your self-worth could be high or low. It is about the values, the ethics, gratitude, and principles. Now this is in one shot. The whole slide where you see, this is about developing your own inner strengths. You look where you are. What is your inner image? What is your body image? And what is your inner voice, internal voice? I'll give you one small example for all of you to get anchored. If you know, what is his name? Forgot. Pakistani singer, Adnan Sami. Adnan Sami, Pakistani singer, you know for him for about his melodious voice, very famous singer, right? But then you also must be knowing that once upon a time he was overweight. He was more than 200 kgs, and yet he had that melodious voice. Now if I reflect this to you, his body, his inner image is his capabilities. This he was very strong at. But then his body image, he was maintaining a very poor body image. Now based on this combination of inner image and body image, despite he having a poor body image, his self-image was positive always. So his internal voice was always positive. That is how he became the famous melodious singer. In that time itself, later on he worked on himself and then reached around 78 kgs. From 200 to he came down to 78 to 80 kgs. But his inner image remained the same. That is the core, who you are within. It remained intact. I'll give you another example. If you know about Zia Khan in Bollywood, Zia Khan, she is no more there now in this world, but Zia Khan has been a model. Her debut movie was with Amitabh Bachchan. Now her inner image we will talk, but she had the best body, best model, long-legged model, and she came with a very great grandeur debut movie. Her physical appearance, the inner body image was great, but she had a very poor image about herself. Her core was very weak, and then it was so weak that her self-image was negative, and her internal voice was something which she could not handle, and that's how she could not go ahead, and then that's how we saw that she ended her life up. So here the point I would like to draw is your self-image is a combination of your inner image, that means your core, and your body image. It's just a combination. It is not addition. So whichever strong element is there for you, go ahead with it and conquer the world. This is how to develop your inner strengths. Now taking this into consideration, the roots lead to fruits. This is whatever your roots are. Your roots means your vajood, what you believe internally. Your roots, what you believe internally is what you will be seeing. You are reaping them. You can't get mangoes from apple roots. Similarly, if your roots are here, they are infected, you can't get the best of the apples. So this is what the roots lead to the fruits means, deep-rooted beliefs. Whatever you are stuck with the beliefs that are not supporting you, you need to change them. If you are changing them, then you will rediscover yourself. These are all conditioned. We have a perceived self-image. Now these deep-rooted beliefs are the ones, and they create emotions and feelings. Feelings are connected with emotions like this. They are branched out, and then you see they are displayed on the outer surface as behavior like the leaves, and this is the ultimate. So what happens? Initially the mind, the feeling is created in the mind, and then it is exhibited by emotion on the body, and it is a vice versa phenomena which happens. If this part is empowering, go ahead with that belief. If this part is troubling you, if you see there are some roots, some beliefs which are not supporting you, just discard them, change the belief. Let me tell you, when you change the belief, you will rediscover yourself and you will acknowledge yourself, appreciate, give some self-love. This is how we need to grow and we evolve. Now this you must have seen in some 6th class, 7th class, when we cut a tree horizontally, tree trunk is cut, these are the rings. These rings denote the age of the tree. Similarly, we also need to evolve as we grow, and then we have to master ourselves. Mastering yourself is the true power. This is what Lao Tzu says. And then this is the concept of self. If you remember the earlier, where does it all start? It starts with self, and it starts from within. Clean your core and then create your power presence. Without cleaning your core, you cannot create your power presence. You cannot influence others. You cannot engage others. Once you create your power presence, only then you will have, see, this is what the power to get things done. Your presence is your responsibility to the world. Create that magnetic personality for yourself. Add value to people's lives. If you see this part, here you will be understanding you need to clean your core, discover who you are from within. It will reflect on the external, and that's when you will be able to genuinely influence people and engage with them. Taking this into consideration, let us see how to influence and engage with others. Is there a disturbance, Mahima? Yeah, thank you so much. So I hope I'm going with the same. Are all of you with me? Just let me recheck. Am I making sense?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. I only want to add value to you all so that it will be definitely beneficial, and what the purpose of Mahima comes into picture. Yes, to influence and engage others. Create your first impressions and build your visual aura. If you have been following, this is what our second slide said, and which further depends on your power presence, power dressing, and your power etiquette. Now, creating your first impressions, this is an art. What happens? This is an art. How to create your first impressions. Basically, let me tell you, the brain forms rapid first impressions. Now, if you see here, this is the part, amygdala. This is the part which is an almond-shaped organ, small organ in your brain. That is the one which is the one which creates first impressions. In fact, let me share a little snippet here. We are so much evolved. We say technologically we are advanced, yet our mind, our brain, that small amygdala part, the small almond-shaped amygdala part still operates with the caveman attitude. And now science researchers are still doing, they are not able to get over that. Amygdala is the one which makes or breaks it for you. Now, this is the one, how it operates in the caveman attitude is, you know, caveman. Who was he? He was a hunter. So what was he doing? He was just on his job. If he sees something, what happens? He would either attack or he would go and hide himself. So with that attitude, always these impressions are made. If I tell you the science behind it, look at this. The amygdala is always operating with fight, flight, and freeze. Emotion, survival instincts. Now, this amygdala first looks at any stranger or any new concept and it forms the first impressions. First impressions are not only with people, it is with everything in the world. Any skill, any technology, any new item, any product, anything. You create an image here, first impression. It is with your amygdala. And then this amygdala takes it and transmits to your hippocampus. It regulates and it has a long-term memory. And then the cerebral cortex is the processing unit. The process happens. That is the reason it is when it is stored in the hippocampus, whenever you see some person, new person, if you are intimidated, why do you get intimidated? Because there is a stored memory of seeing something like that. If you feel somebody approachable, why do you get the feeling that they are approachable? Because it is a perceived memory, already it is there. So like this, it is the first impressions are made by amygdala. If you are able to train your own amygdala, if you are able to work on this art of creating first impressions, things will be much more easier for you. This is the research has been done, and Albert Mehrabian is the one who actually came up with this communication model. Look at this. 55% is about your body language, expressions and actions. 38% is about how we say. about your voice and tone. It is only 7% about what we say, the verbal language. When we are in communication, most of us will stress on the words, right? But words carry only 77% of the message. 93% of communication is happening even before you speak. Just when you stand there, 93% of communication is happened already. Your words will only make 7% of communication. Be aware of this. Once you are aware of this, then that is when you will take care of your body language, about your tone as well. And from here, let me proceed. The first impressions happen in the first 7 seconds. I am not sure how many of you know. It happens in the first 7 seconds. Let me know how many of you know. Are you not shocked that 7 seconds your amygdala makes this impression? Yes. Thank you, Mr. Kapil. Now, if it is a virtual, if it is a digital media, the span is reduced to 3 seconds. You yourself can evaluate the way you scroll up things. You don't even spend 1 second on it. So just imagine for the advertisers and for the content writers to catch your attention, to copyright that message, to catch your attention so that you stay on that screen for some time, how difficult it is, because you cannot stay more than 3 seconds. Similarly, in 7 seconds, if your first impression is made, you need to capture that first 7 seconds to get the first impression best. If it is not done, it will take 20 to 22 more meetings. And this is obvious. So create your best impression in those 7 seconds. The 7/11 rule, what does that mean? The psychology of first impressions, the secret of first impressions. Now for me, it would not be possible for me to elaborate on that, but I shall share my LinkedIn contact. Probably you can see I have lot of content there on these areas. What is that 7/11 rule? It is about 11 decisions are made in the first 7 seconds based on whatever their background input is. And psychology is about your first impression, the information you are sharing, the perception they have, and your information will make them perceive in their own way. Now it is upon you how you want to be perceived. You need to create your first impression in that way. And then the secret of first impression is, this is very simple. Appreciate, connect, elevate and enlighten others. Your first impression is created. It's not about the external makeup. It is about how you treat others and how you leave an impression on them. This is the secret of first impression. Added the external appearance is there, but basically the secret is about how you appreciate, connect, elevate and enlighten others. Now taking this into consideration, let me go in small detail about the professional etiquette. You only have one opportunity to make that first impression, and your 30-second self-introduction is a window of information. What are you sharing with the world, which leads to conversations? This is that small talk which you can do to create more connectivity with people and communication. Your handshake should be very firm with a smile and eye contact. Many people tell you this. This is a very common thing, but most of us forget. We don't smile while giving contact. We don't even make eye contact. Most of the times we give the handshake like this, or we say handshake like this. So most of the time these things are not taken into consideration. But let me tell you, if you practice, you will definitely make an impression. Then this is a professional etiquette about meeting and greeting, entire hand, web to web, and whom to introduce to whom, junior to senior, fellow worker to client, eliminate the slang or jargon, and always be on time. This last point is more important while creating your first impressions. Then coming to the 4 elements to create your positive first impressions, it's about your clothing, grooming, body language, etiquette, and the vocal communication. Just now we have seen all of this play a major role in creating your first impressions. And appearance management. First impression is the first impression, first time meeting. Whenever you are meeting again and again, it is called appearance management. Every time when you are meeting them, that still has to be etched in their memory. The second time, third time, fourth time, only then they will have that memory of yours. For that, you need to do appearance management or image management. And what does that mean? A very simple point which I would like to tell you, follow these 4 A's. What are those A's? Appropriate. Dress appropriately. That means when you are going for a satsang, you can't go in your gym wear. You can't go in gym wear to some satsang. And you can't go to a conference in your satsang dress, right? So the way you are dressing, the way you are projecting yourself needs to be appropriate to that occasion. The role you play, that is more important. Then next comes your authenticity. Don't copy others. Be original. Be attractive. Attractive means it has to be coordinated. It doesn't mean beautiful and handsome. It needs to be coordinated. Are you coordinated with your entire external appearance? And then affordable. You need not go for expensive clothing. You just needs to be affordable, and then you need to follow all of these 4 A's. It actually simplifies for you regarding your dressing etiquette. I have not given dressing etiquette separately because that itself is an ocean. Dressing etiquette for male, for female, everything, it is an ocean. Just follow these 4 rules of appearance management. It simplifies things. Question yourself. Are you authentic? Are you appropriately dressed? Is it authentic? Is it attractive? Is it affordable? That's it. Answers the question. Basic proxemic etiquette. This is the basic proxemic etiquette. Intimate distance, personal distance, social distance, maintain this public distance. I'll give you another version of the same thing. Respect this. Cultural proxemics and personal space differs from place to place, differs from nation to nation, country to country. Just check. Whenever you are going, check what is the intimate distance, what is the personal distance, what is the social distance, and what is the public distance. This, if you follow, I am telling you 85% you are sorted out. And then come to the dining etiquette. When it is a dining etiquette, I am just brushing you through all of these. You know how to use the cutlery based on where you are going. Each country has its own, and you need to follow. If in India, follow what Indian cutlery dining etiquette is. If it is a formal table setting, just brush up your knowledge on all of these. Once you are aware of this, then let me take you through business etiquette, test your knowledge. Are you all ready with this? This is again a 5 questions where I will just ask a question. If you have an answer, that's fine. Otherwise, I shall give the answer. Are we all good to go? Yes, Mahima?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, thank you so much. Do you find this interesting? Yes?
Yes.
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 Yes,
If I'm adding some value, something new to you, that would suffice my purpose. At a business meal, when do I discuss the business? Does anybody have an answer for this? When do I discuss the business? So I shall go ahead with this. It would be interesting. Two-way communication. I would appreciate that. At a business meal, when do I discuss the business? The business may be discussed after the first on 3 plates have been removed. What does that mean? The first on 3 plates. The first part, the initial starters or the initial drinks which you have. Once you need to, at the business table, when you are having even a business conversation, you will not be starting immediately as soon as you sit there. You will wait. Initially, go on the softer side. The first course, let it go ahead. The first starters or the initial drinks. Once that is done, get into business. Second point, when I meet a business colleague after work hours, are there topics which we should avoid discussing? I shall give the answer. Avoid office gossip, complaining about co-workers, and also avoid discussing confidential business after work hours. Not in the after work hours, no confidential business discussion. Second, third, what is the self-introduction and when do I use it? I already gave the answer here because this has been a repetitive one where I initially told what is your self-introduction. It is a brief statement about who you are and your expertise in your domain, the impact created and the value added. It should not last more than 90 seconds. This is generally called, they say, elevator pitch, or it is just about who you are and what you are expert at. This both combination, you can finish it. It should be your domain experience and your functional experience. If both of these are combined together, your career strengths and character strengths, that gives your 90-second introduction, your self-introduction. Get ready with this, all of you. It will be easy for you to start a conversation at any place, any meeting, any gathering, anywhere, be it a very common one, formal, informal, anywhere. If you are aware of your small brief introduction, that's it. Your initial conversation gets started. You need not worry about what to speak, how to speak. Now, my name is frequently mispronounced during introductions. How do I correct my introducer? The answer is, you have to repeat your name when acknowledging those who are introduced to, those whom you are introduced to. Later speak privately to the person, introducer, regarding the correction and make the correction. Now, the final one will be very interesting perhaps for you. At a company party, I drank too much and flirted. Should I apologize in person or write an apology letter? Is there anybody who can come up with some kind of answer for this? I would appreciate. Yes? Is there anybody? Please come on. Don't worry. You can give a false answer also, just for the conversation to happen. Right? Shall I go ahead? Now you are all in a question. Should we? Should we not? Should we apologize in person or should we write an apology letter?
I think first one is,
yeah, sorry, you were sharing something.
I was saying personally apology will make more sense.
Personal apology will make more sense. Yes.
You will do eye-to-eye contact and it will
clear it off. Yes. Thank you so much. Yes, absolutely. You are very true, Kapil sir. And then just let us look at what it is. Avoid drawing further attention to your errant behavior in public. That's what Kapil sir was saying. But remember, as a guest at your company party, you are representing your company. Your good reputation precedes your arrival and is crucial to your career success. Be aware of the impression you are leaving behind. This is very, very must needed one. Right? Be careful. So don't just go with the flow and get carried away. Now let us go ahead with the next part, which is nothing but it's about the engagement, employee engagement. Look at the motivation, the trust, the loyalty and the commitment, employee engagement. How can it happen? Can you see this? The employee engagement. It is about 30% teamwork, 50% engagement and 20% your company culture. Why do we do this? We do this so that all of us are getting aligned. Can you see this? All of us are getting aligned. This is how we need to engage with each other. Some shortcomings, some strengths, just align with each other. And if you are actually coming together, when all of you are coming together, that's when brainstorming happens. One idea, one brain, brainstorm with 10 brains, definitely it's going to give all corners of the puzzle. And you will see things get simply handled very, very easily. This is how you need to have the employee engagement, and also from there itself the influence starts. Now looking at ways to influence and engage others. How are you going to go ahead? Create that leadership qualities within you. When you are creating those leadership qualities, empower people, inspire people, share vision, share your vision, and you start leading changes. You express yourself, create this. Leaders are those people who create more leaders. So go ahead and start applying this. Build community influence and then volunteer services. So here, this is where the question comes, how do I influence and engage? I don't have that kind of personality. I can't influence people. This is what mainly it starts in the brain. And when there is some voluntary service, we opt out of it. We don't want to do. Arey, usme paisa nahi hai. We don't get that. Why should we waste my time? My family is waiting for my time. Why should I invest time? Arey, usme kuch bhi nahi hai. It's just voluntary. Why should I die? Why should I do? Don't question yourself like that. You will become more visible, and it will definitely help you. I will also share something. What goes around comes around. When you are into service, you definitely you will reap the benefit of that service. Nothing goes waste. In this world, I am right now 53 years. As I was telling you, 49 years when I discovered my own self-worth, and when I have been working on myself, the practical experience and the knowledge which I have got, I joined the dots backwards into my life. Earlier, I used to feel myself as a failure. I am a story of a failure because I could not implement any of my choices. Later on, when I came into this, when I got empowered, I discovered every dot when I joined, everything makes sense. And you can actually convert that failure into a success stone, now getting that into benefit. And let me also share with you, failure is not per se failure. What does a failure tell you? Anybody? What does a failure tell you? It conveys something. A failure conveys something. Yes?
A new life lesson, new learnings.
New learnings, new life lessons. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Manoj. Obviously, when something is failed, that means you met with a failure. It only tells you that this system, the method you applied is not right. Change the method. That's it. So we already see, I'll give you a very common example. Thomas Alva Edison. How do we know him? It is because of the filament in the bulb, electrical bulb, right? Now you also Google and check how many experiments he had failed before he invented the tungsten. 999 times he failed. And his 1000th experiment proved that tungsten is the filament which can be used in the electrical bulbs, which can withstand those kind of adversities. And before coming to that 1000th experiment, when he was doing 999 experiments, many of the people around him, the society around him, started pulling him down, started cursing him, started telling him, why are you wasting your time? You are wasting your time, you are wasting your energy, you are wasting money, you are not going to get successful at all. Don't do that in your lifetime, you cannot do that experiment successfully. He was told this. But did he change? That is his core, what he believes in himself. And his 1000th experiment proved he is a success. But before that, you know what he said to all those people who started pulling him down, saying stop? He told them, I have made work simpler for you. I have proved that 999 methods do not work. Now it is easy for you, so that you will not repeat that method. My friends, I am asking you, do you repeat a method which is not given you result? No, right? So you have saved the other people in again doing the same experiments, 999 experiments. You have saved them that this method does not work. Those elements, those metals or those alloys are not the right things to be used as the filament in the bulb. It is only tungsten. That's the reason even now, how much ever advanced we are, we always see tungsten, right, as the filament. So like that, just go ahead, accept your failures, go ahead and start experimenting, and then build your community of influence, start volunteering services and offer leadership services. These are all voluntary things which I am talking. Participate in associations. Participate in associations pertaining to your trade and your business. Don't waste time with other things which are not required. Own your responsibility. Cultivate the opportunities to serve. This is what I was telling. What goes around comes around. Become a contributor rather than a consuming person. Rather than a consuming person, become a contributor. In a small way, fine. Get enrolled or get connected to some NGO or anybody. NGO doesn't mean just waste of time and all. Just look which is more appropriate for you. Become a contributor and then be committed and reliable. Maintain transparency. Transparency means you need to maintain integrity and keep the other person in picture. Inform them. Spread your sphere of influence and give back to the community. These are the ways in which, and there is also one more, involve in non-profit community service. When you are doing all of this, by default, you are influencing and you are engaging. People will come to you. When you are doing any of these, which I have given you, people will come to you. They will seek solutions. They will ask guidance. You will become an influencer for them. Probably for some people, they will start to emulate you. And when you are engaging with them, how do you engage? Pay respect to them, listen properly, completely to them, and then be there in the connectivity, share, experience, and all of this. When you are doing, you are actually engaging with them. When you are doing all of this, influence and engaging, you are spreading your influence. About you precedes before your arrival. People will be there to see you. Increase your visibility. When you are spreading your visibility, you are actually building up your credibility. When you are building up your credibility, that is when you will also see the profitability. So visibility, credibility, profitability for all of you who are in business. And in such companies, visibility is what takes you to the credibility. This is what I would like to share, and then connect with all of the people together. Add on, contribute together as a team. And when you do this, this is how I would like to share. There is not a great talent without great willpower. First and foremost, have your willpower. And then how you present yourself is how people are viewing you. They are looking at you, viewing you, making perceptions. What are you showcasing? That's about what I would like to contribute. Thank you so much. So I am open for questions. So first and foremost, has this around 35 to 40 minutes presentation added any value to all of you?
Ma'am, good evening.
Good evening.
The session was really an excellent session and we really benefited from it.
Thank you, sir.
And a couple of questions like, I wanted to change myself.
Okay.
But I wanted to find things like in what field should I change myself to enrich my potential or to be a showcase for the company.
Yeah.
How
So,
do you assess?
Yeah. So the first 3 points which I said, sir, it is about self-worth and self-confidence and self-esteem. When you are listing down them, you will be actually knowing what your strengths are. So whichever field you want to go, you have to do that. Right? I will just take you through that part and then I will share with you again. I will just take you through this 1 minute. Your potential, unlock your potential. How would you unlock your potential? You should know what your values are, what the ethics you are practicing, the principles you follow, the gratitude you express, and what is that quality in you which deserves attention. And are you worthy of trust? This is about one list. If you make a list of this and you also make a list of this, your talents and your strengths, right? If you make another list of your talents and your strengths, and you also make a list of the qualities which you have, you appreciate yourself. If you are making a list of these, along with it, your capabilities and your skills. What are your capabilities and your skills? When you put down all of this in list forms, out of all of this, you definitely know what you are good at. Sir?
Right.
What you are good at. Then you find your ikigai. How you will find your ikigai? There are 4 columns. What is that? The first column says what you are good at. Now, out of these things, just what you are good at, you come. Then the second column will tell you what you enjoy doing. Mostly, what you are good at, you may or may not enjoy doing for the lifetime. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Some things which are very good at, but you might not enjoy doing them. Right?
Absolutely.
I hope you are getting the difference.
Yes, yes.
So you have to narrow it down. Then the third column, what does the world need? Out of all these lists which you prepared, pick up what the world needs. That means what is trending in the world, what are the people looking for, what is that people want more of. When you check that, then common things will come in the third column, third list. What does the world need? Right, sir?
Right.
Then the fourth and the last column will be, will you get paid for that skill?
Okay.
There are some skills where you don't get paid. There are some skills which you get enormously paid. So out of all of these lists, narrow it down, and the last one which you have, that is the one which you can go for. As you asked me, where should I go? What should I do? How to change? I think all this process, if you follow, first and foremost, check what you are good at. Out of all that self-worth, skills, talents, capabilities, all of that when you do, then go for what you are good at, and then you can see what you want, the world, and then you can see will you get paid for that. Yes?
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Have I answered your question, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Thank you so much. Yes. So, anybody else? That was fantastic. It just gave me a little more to add.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Actually, ma'am, all these sessions actually help in grooming individuals when they
Yes.
grow up in the top ladders.
Yes.
This session, I think, Mahima, we can have another sessions, sort of any of these things. This is a very useful session. Yeah. Sure.
So what Anjan sir was saying, that is absolutely true. As you scale up the ladder, it is not about your technical skills. It is about how strong you are at the core. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, if you know about him, he was very strong at his core, Wajood. And then that's what has taken him to become the president. He was not a great personality prior to that. Then he became a global leader. So first, believe who you are. Check what are those capabilities you have. Are you standing for yourself? When you do all of this, that's when you can reflect it as a personality. Because at the bottom, it is all task-oriented people in that pyramid, if you know. Task-oriented people. Above that, it is the middle management. They are process-oriented and people-oriented. Because they take instructions from the higher-ups and they percolate instructions to the task-oriented people. So, in the middle management people are all of us come into that category. We are all people-oriented and process-oriented. Systems and procedures we take into consideration. But the leaders above this top management, they are the people who are purpose-driven. So for all of us, when we are scaling up the ladder, when we want to become leaders, to influence and engage, we will be purpose-driven. And for that, we need to upskill ourselves in terms of our soft skills and life skills.
Just to summarize it, what I am taking away from this session is, it is about the ability to make good decisions that, separates from the achievers and the mediocre, right?
Yes.
We have heard so much about the self-worth, be it self-esteem, self-compassion, self-acceptance, but having a sense of self-worth,
Yeah.
the value yourself, the respect, the self-value, what you
Yes.
are worthy of, is what I am taking away from this session.
Thank you so much. Yes.
So it's been quite a, very nice journey for me, and I hope the audience could get some key takeaways, and I'm sure would love to have you back again with some specific queries from all of us.
My pleasure. I would love to interact with you all once again. Thank you so much, Lakshmi Cements, for giving me this opportunity, and thank you so much, Mahima, for reaching out to me, and I could get interaction with all of the people who have attended here. I also thank you all and appreciate for being here very passionately, very patiently, sitting here and getting to listen to me for the past 1 hour around. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks.
Thank you, Mahima.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.